tournament. Draymond Green, the forward for the Golden State Warriors, had some interesting comments saying that teams are fearing Steph Curry. He said they're terrified of Steph. And of course, this is amid the torrid hot streak that he's been on, the shooting streak. He's been absolutely sensational. And he's really just kind of emboldened his team. And a couple days ago, he just dropped 41 points in a win over the Pelicans. Obviously, last night, he was on pace to surpass that number. He had 35 points midway through the third quarter, and then the lights came out at the Smoothie King Arena, and that just kind of shot all the confidence for whatever reason and all the rhythm and all the flow out of his game. But the reason why the NBA instituted a play-in tournament, it's because of the intrigue, because it provides hope, additional hope to teams and their fan bases, that there's still reasons to root for them, to cheer on teams late in the year. That's why the play-in tournament exists, because it enhances the excitement surrounding a franchise, surrounding a city. Again, offers an additional beacon of hope and kind of incentivizes teams to actually continue to play hard throughout the remainder of the season. It doesn't encourage teams now to tank and just hope to select a top 3 draft pick. No, now you actually have something worth playing for. And for the first time ever, that's what we're seeing. Late into a season, we're seeing that there is still a ton of compelling storylines, and not just for the 8th seed, because now it's not just about the 8th seed. It's about, can you make the top 6 cut? Are you going to avoid the play-in tournament? If you're on the outside of the play-in tournament, can you actually make it into the play-in tournament? This is the first time ever. If you look at the standings, there are only 3 teams in both the Western Conference and the Eastern Conference that are totally out of contention from reaching the postseason. The Rockets, the Timberwolves, and the Thunder in the Western Conference, and the Detroit Pistons, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the Orlando Magic in the Eastern Conference. Or maybe I said Eastern for the Thunder, the Timberwolves, and the Rockets. That meant to be the Western Conference, Eastern Conference for Detroit, for Cleveland, and for Orlando. That's it. Only 6 total teams out of 24 are completely out of it. All other 24 teams still have reasons to play hard, still have things to play for. And that's what makes this so interesting, is because what the NBA did is they created their own mini NCAA tournament, a realistic, one and done, win or go home, single elimination style format to the NBA. It's one of the biggest reasons why the NCAA tournament, especially during those first 2 days, that Thursday and Friday, are 2 of the highest viewed sporting events throughout the entire season, throughout the entire year. It's because there's so much intrigue. It doesn't matter who's favored. You got one chance to make your mark. And that's the approach that a lot of these NBA teams have. And this is particularly relevant and pertinent to now, and especially pertinent to Draymond Green's comments, because this is exactly why teams like the Lakers vehemently oppose the NBA's play-in tournament. And this is why teams should fear Steph Curry, and why Draymond Green made these comments about teams fearing Steph Curry, because of this one-and-done situation. Did you see what he did with Davidson in college in 2008? They upset Georgetown as a 10th seed. Georgetown was a 2 seed, or rather, they were the 7th seed. Davidson was a 10th seed in the first round. They knocked them off. Then, what was even more impressive, they followed that up, or they beat Gonzaga, rather, as the 7th seed. Then they beat Georgetown as the 2 seed in the round of 32. Then they beat Wisconsin as a 3 seed in the Sweet 16. They reached the Elite 8 and barely lost to a 1-seeded Kansas team in 2008. In fact, that was the Kansas team that ultimately went on to win the NCAA tournament, a national title. Steph Curry averaged 32 points per game during that season with Davidson in the tournament alone. Averaged the highest scoring mark in the tournament, the most number of three-pointers in the tournament. And he single-handedly carried that Davidson team. And it's because of the single elimination atmosphere and format That's what makes him so dangerous. He is by far the hottest and streakiest NBA player that maybe we've ever seen. The only other argument you can make is his counterpart and his partner in crime in Klay Thompson, who's not playing right now, who's the only other guy that maybe can get hotter immediately and instantly the way that Steph Curry can. This is a guy who, for the season, averaging a career high 31.4 points per game, 5.5 rebounds, 6 assists, 43% shooting on 12.7 three-point attempts per game. That's what Steph Curry's doing. In the month of April, averaged 37 points per game in the month of April. Through the first 3 games in May, he's accumulated 108 total points. That's what this guy is doing. And if you put him in a single elimination game where, hey, Warriors versus blank to advance to a postseason berth, yeah, I wouldn't want to face him either. The guy can shoot it from 30 feet consistently, and he's been absolutely on a tear. So what he provides is the ultimate trump card. He's the ultimate nullifier, the ultimate equalizer, and the ultimate heartbreaker all in the same moment. Because you can't contain him. It's unpredictable whether he's going to be hot, whether he's not. You can defend him. You can double team him. You can trap him, get the ball out of his hands. But the streak that he's on, I understand why LeBron vehemently opposes this. Because the Lakers right now, if they were to fall past the Portland Trailblazers, they'd be a 7th seed. Golden State right now is in the 8th spot. And those two teams would have to match up for a chance to go to the postseason. And in a 1-game format, it's entirely possible anything can happen. It's like a game 7, win or go home. So I think Draymond Green is absolutely right. I absolutely think that teams would fear Steph and do fear Steph, especially in a playing tournament. Again, if you extend it over 7 games, it's still scary, but less so because you can game plan, you can make adjustments, but in a one-time shot, everything goes out the window. Everything goes out the window.